This project I used an old 17 by 17 inch picture frame. I removed all the paper off the back, all the clips, all the cardboard off the back, and also removed the glass. Then I flipped it over and painted the frame with the glass out of it. Once that had dried, I flipped it back over and took Elmer's glue and put it around the perimeter of the back of the frame where the glass sits. And then I replaced the glass, and then I put Elmer's glue around the perimeter of the back of the frame one more time. And this serves two purposes. It holds the glass in, and it helps prevent any resin leaks. Now this needs to dry for 24 hours and sometimes longer depending how much glue you put in it. Then I took this adorable stencil that I had picked up on Amazon. The top says Merry Christmas and the bottom has a truck carrying a Christmas tree. I took clear Elmer's glue and traced around the perimeter of the inside of the truck with the clear Elmer's glue, and then took these 2mm rhinestone chain crystals and followed along the glue lines. So when you pull this up, you have to just be careful and kind of push some of the rhinestones back in place and make sure that it's not dry all the way, or the entire stencil will stick to the glass. Then I took my Sharpie markers, the oil-based markers, and filled in the Merry Christmas at the top. And I don't use paint anymore. I find these work really well with resin. You can outline it and then pull the stencil up and then fill in, or any way you actually want to do it. If you do end up getting some of the oil-based marker in a spot that you don't want it, wait for it to dry and then take a razor blade and scrape it up. Then I laid the stencil back down over the truck, and I took these 4mm crystal rhinestone chains and made the tires out of them. So for the Christmas tree, I used this little vase. I picked it up at a garage sale. I really don't know. I probably paid 50 cents or a quarter. I can't imagine paying any more for it. And what I really like about this vase is that it's ribbed. So it's not just flat. So what I did was I just went ahead and used my nipper tool and nipped all the way around it so that I would get curved branches that could stand up. And when you use the nipper tool, if you keep it so that the vase is pointing down, the pieces will fly down. If you have it up, the pieces will fly up. If you have it going sideways, the pieces will fly sideways. But the deeper the box that you can use, the safer it is, and it's important to wear safety glasses when you're doing this. And like I said, to try to do it in a deep box. I'm just using this narrow shallow one just so that you can see what I'm doing. Next, I started assembling the Christmas tree, and I did this by using the longer pieces toward the bottom and then just slowly making them shorter and shorter as it got up to the tippy top of the Christmas tree. And then I started picking up little tiny pieces of the glass and kind of filling in wherever I could. Used a piece of my tumbled glass to make the tree trunk, but of course you could use any kind of broken glass for that. Next, I took this Ashland decorative filler from Michaels. It's out for fall and autumn, so I'm sure once it's gone, it's gone. It's a real pretty sparkly red glass, and I went in and I filled in all the areas of the truck that I had outlined. Besides glass, one of the things I get at thrift stores and garage sales is jewelry, and I had picked up this necklace, and on this necklace was a little flat silver bead, and that's what I used to put in the center of the tire for like a hubcap. And then for the door of the truck, I used a long silver bead for the handle. And then I was ready for the resin. I mixed the resin up off camera. After I mixed it up, I started drizzling it over all the glass. I usually drizzle it over the glass first to make sure it's covered thoroughly. And then I start putting it up around the edges and the corners just to make sure that everything's covered. I know they say it's self-leveling, but you really have to push it up into the corners and along the edges, or else you'll end up with some empty spots. And then I used the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles. And next I took this product out called tube confetti. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. It comes in 3 different colors, and I'm going to use the white tube confetti. I used it a lot last year. And I'm just sprinkling it around the bottom to simulate snow, and I think it looks really pretty like that. Next, I'm using a product called Diamond Dust. It's really fine shards of glass that I'm putting over the existing glass to give it a sparkle. You really have to be careful that you don't drop any of it into the resin. This adds a nice sparkle to the glass that doesn't have a sparkle already, like the Christmas tree. When you're done, it has to sit on a flat level surface overnight, 12 hours before you can touch it, 72 hours before it's completely set up, and it's in your best interest to put a dust cover over it. Hey everyone. So I think it turned out cute. I especially like the way the Christmas tree on there turned out. It was real easy to do, and that glass, those skinny vases, they're bud vases, and I used to see those things all over the place, and of course now that I want them, I'm only seeing 1 or 2 here and there. And the reason they're perfect is they are a small diameter, so you want the shorter curves for the Christmas tree, for at least this size Christmas tree. It's a smaller diameter. The glass is green all the way through. So glass that you break and it's not green all the way through, it's just on the outside, you'll see the clear through there, so it doesn't look as nice. And also it's a thick glass, so it stands up a lot easier. So anyway, yeah, if you ever see those little bud vases, grab them. And I like how this turned out with the stencil and using the glass in there instead of painting the stencil on. I thought that turned out real cute. And like I said, this red glass is only at Michael's seasonal, but you can always paint. They always have the reflective clear glass there in the little containers. This I have poured into a big container, but this is what it looks like. And you can always paint it. Don't use alcohol ink. I've learned that that's not a good thing to use to color glass because it fades. Use the spray paint, the TAMIYA red spray paint, or the Krylon, I think it's called Cherry Red. And it has to be the translucent spray paint, and it will not, you can see that it still is reflective. It doesn't lose its reflective, sparkly qualities. Now I took that diamond dust and I put it over this, which was silly because this is already sparkly. It doesn't need it. But the Christmas tree wasn't sparkly. And no, it's hard to tell whether you can see it or not, but it really did make it more sparkly. And this at the bottom is the tube confetti from the Dollar Tree. And it comes in the things like this, and they do have it out now. I've seen it at several Dollar Trees. They also have it in the different colors, but I thought that was real pretty for the bottom, for the snow. But you can always use glitter or something else. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thought this was something a little different. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel. And if you want to be notified of future videos, all the rest of the videos are all Christmas ones until January. Go ahead and subscribe and you'll be notified. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.